and watch a loading screen never load, and me have to restart the stream and probably break my TV. There we go. Didn't have to break anything. Now you will hear a slight in the background. If you don't like it, you don't have to watch this. And when I start playing with other people, I will probably not answer comments. What the hell is going on? What the hell? Oh, 150 updates. 150 updates. Oh look, there's a fucking all hell breaking loose as soon as I go into the game. Good game, good game. It just works. Fucking Bethesda. You don't have to play a game if you don't like it. Good excuse. Great excuse. I do like Fallout. I'm not very happy about how they did everything. Hello, little frog. Hello, my darling. Hello, my baby. Hello, my handsome gal. It's not a good excuse that if I don't like it, I shouldn't play it. It should be, you know, fix the problem. That's pretty much the way it works with everything. You fix the problem and don't make excuses. Just like politics, same thing. Greed should not be the factor in the situation of making things better. You're still getting money no matter what. You're still gonna die one day. Is that what you really want to be remembered with? Okay, Simpack. Now that I'm done ranting, I was gonna be like, oh, the update come out and it's not been that bad. Then like I got screwed over by Invisible Scorched as soon as I spawned in. Where you at? Oh, I was supposed to go this way. I gotta go east. Because I wanted to lock this in the map. Cheap shot. Yes, I'm jumping in and out of vats because I don't need to concentrate or use any skill for low-level creatures like that. My other character is a level 43, and I switched over to having a level 10, a new character, because I kind of fudged up. I was just learning the perks and everything, and now that I know better, I know that this game you really just have to focus on making your character really strong and damage resistance, and then not using any of the, you know, things that make your life easier, like better carry weight, power armor, basically stuff like that. You just have to know how to make better weapons, make it stronger. And if you don't, then you can't get anywhere in this game without being boned every single time. Which doesn't matter either, because the AI characters can randomly be extremely strong for a level 10, for example, when you're a level 43. So, leveling it doesn't seem like it actually affects anything, only special and perks. And learning how to make better weapons. I was supposed to be going down this way the entire time I was ranting again. So this will be going up on YouTube, so if anybody watches this... Hold on. What? Alright. Get some blackberries. My goal for this character is to... What? Okay, so, the goal for this character is to get, you know, basically sniper weapons,
Grafton's
maybe
mayor
either
here.
laser
We
or
have a
assault
catastrophe on our
as a
hands.
backup.
The very expensive cricket sport renovation has hit a snag.
I
I
don't
need
care.
that attraction to open without any bad press. Apparently, they found the remains of a Civil War soldier during construction. Well, probably from the Civil War. It's from some war, that much I'm certain of. Let's just all agree it's a Civil War soldier, shall we?
I'm not even pushing the skip button.
Anywho, someone needs to give those remains a nice anonymous burial in Philippi Battlefield Cemetery. And by someone, I mean you.
Move. So I don't want that Yagwai coming up on me. Alright, there we go, not kill you guys. Or just sit there. Okay. I was like, when I first came up there, I saw those two dogs, and for some reason I completely just did not see the Yagwai. And I was like, oh, okay, there's no Yagwai this time, that's weird, there's always been a Yagwai here. And then all of a sudden this dog got royally fucked by a Yagwai. And I was like, give it a shot, let's see how much damage it does. Fucking run. Oh, someone already came here. The whole point of coming here was to get another black powder weapon. Yeah, I wish they could make it optional to, they need to make it optional to have these random intrusions into your game of someone hacking into your Pip-Boy. Because supposedly with this version of the Pip-Boy, everyone can hack in and force a radio wave to play, which makes no fucking sense because they were supposed to be unhackable. I don't know much about this version of the Pip-Boy other than it's, I think, a Mark 6 or Mark 5 of the Pip-Boy 2000, but they shouldn't be able to have that ability. It's literally pointless. And people would probably be like, oh, it's for the story, or Bethesda would say that. But stop making excuses. You butchered a game, and you act like it's perfectly fine. You have the audacity to tell people when a certain situation happens where you fuck up that you're not going to do anything about it, and then, you know, basically do nothing still. You're perfectly okay with ruining your reputation because you know people are still going to turn around and buy your game. Because there's people like that. Doesn't matter how bad the game is. I was one of them. I'm not going to lie. But don't fucking... They just keep kind of contradicting themselves, is what I'm saying. They'll, oh, we can't do that because it affects the lore, but then they'll turn around and be like, the Brotherhood are here. Or, for a while there, they made references towards the Children of Adam, and all of a sudden they're not here. I've not seen anything about the Children of Adam in this game. And the only reason why I'm even playing this game is because I don't have anything else to play right now. But they have a lot they need to fix. They need to add on to the main part of the storyline. Make it so that there's a point when the scorched go down and a new threat appears. Fucking make a scorched Deathclaw that is mutated heavily, that can fucking fly. You already got the fucking dragon from Skyrim, pretty much, with the Scorched Beast. Might as well throw the fucking flying monkeys from fucking Wizard of Oz in. Or better yet, how about you give it to the actual people who can make the game decent, that are making a better game now, Obsidian, because they were mostly made. I'm not sure if they still are, but they were mainly people who were the ones who made the original Fallout. They did New Vegas better, and you only gave them a few months to make it. Mainly because it was a real RPG. And you just keep taking away the main aspect of what an RPG is. And you know what, I might understand a little bit if the people who were helping work make 76 were the ones you just bought out, that themselves could not make a online multiplayer game properly. I mean, it's still your fault. But and then you make it, people get into the dev room. Come on, this is an online game. And then you banish and punish them, but it's not their fault, it's yours. You know people are going to do it. It still comes back to you, but you're not going to take the blame, and even if you do, you're not going to fix the problem. People wasted $60 on this game, and it's a game not even worth $5. I mean, they have, I think, they have gaming companies that have been using the same engine for 20 years. And it still looks amazing. It's better. But, I mean, this game looks worse than Skyrim. I don't know how you made that physically possible, but it looks worse than Skyrim did. And I didn't really care for Skyrim. Elder Scrolls is alright, but... not even the music. I mean... it's mainly just music from some new music, or a decent amount of new music, and then some old songs from all the other games. And because of your pettiness, you won't even really make any references towards New Vegas, because they did better than you. I just hate this. And you know what, I've been to West Virginia. It's nice. I mean, I've been to the Hillbilly hot dog place, where in this game it's Hill Folk. They didn't even do that right. They literally just took two things that already existed in Fallout 4, put them on there, and then slapped a sign that I think also existed in it. And it didn't even say Hill Folk hot dog place on it. You know what it said? Hot dogs and hamburgers. That's all it said. They're that lazy with making these games. And it's not even laziness. Hey, we can make a bunch of money off of it. That's all that matters. And it doesn't matter if our credibility is gone, because guess what? The main people who do everything, and the ones that actually matter, are going to be the ones who have a bunch of money when the company goes under. Especially if another company comes in and goes, hey, we'll buy you out. This dog's waving to me. Here's any followers or subscribers you'd ever have. I'm like, I give a fuck, dog. I'm just telling the truth. Money only makes the world go so round, and when you die, what is it going to do you? I'd rather be remembered for, you know, being... really, what's going on? Oh, another Yogwai. Same Yogwai, actually, I think. I was running, but okay. Come on up here. There goes all your credibility, Bethesda. Just going in the woods, disappearing. Only to appear once a fan comes towards you. And be like, please make another game. Take another 9-10 years. Because people were waiting for Fallout 4 and all they got was a piece of shit. I mean, I liked Fallout 3, and then I played New Vegas, and it took me a while, but I actually liked it more because you had more choice. And then when I went back to play Fallout 3, it was unplayable, because literally there's barely any choice. A role-playing game is supposed to be that. You take a role in playing the game, and being a character in a way. You have your own story, or you help make your story and you make your character. And New Vegas and 3, you had skill. You had to, like, you couldn't just add stuff to your intelligence or have perks. And there were so many different options. It had way more replayability. And it's like Bethesda didn't care about that. And that was what gave them the time to make another game. Vegas gave them the most time. And again, like I said, they squandered it. The little fight nowadays is basically you just have to run in a circle because they like to charge. I don't even know what to do. Well, let's go do a main storyline. Oh, wait, there really isn't one. And you can literally find out everything about the story. Like, at least with 3, the farthest you can go to going ahead of the mission you had to do was you could go straight to the Vault 112. This game, you could literally, like, you could skip to any faction back and forth until you can launch the nuke, and the game's over. I was able to beat the game within a day or two, because I went with other people and I got death from above because of a glitch. I'm not going to help them. Why should I help them? They should have at least had this game. New Vegas should have been longer than New Vegas for an online game. You can't piss people off about Elder Scrolls Online, but then give no content with another game you make that's online. They should have completely used a new engine. They should use it with everything else. Stop being cheap bastards and taking people's money and walking away with it. The whole purpose of the game is to give you escape. And I don't get no escape from this. Nothing that, you know, takes me away for a certain amount of time. And I mean, I was gonna have fun. And I was like, oh, I'm having a positive attitude when I start in this game for once. And then all the fucking glitches in the world happened. And I'm not even sure now if it's because I'm broadcasting, or it can't be, because the loading screen does that to me most of the time. And don't even get me started how they fix problems. The way they fix truly the problem was by
smash, break, kill! Lead!
That's another thing. There's a glitch in bats. I don't know if it's a glitch, but when they turn around, they go to 0%. Like, you can't hit them. It's like they're a piece of paper. And then it resets constantly. Basically meaning bats is useless. Get rid of it. That saves most of your performance issues right there. Random places like this that have no backstory whatsoever is useless. Like, it's a scrap pile that they were saying around. I'm pretty sure if the super mutants were over here as a base, they would have set something up. And what was this, a garage in the middle of nowhere? Like, there's no backstory for anything. Like, barely any backstory. I can go to a location and there's barely any files. Nothing. Like, people just left things, like they deleted stuff off their terminal. And like, places that had, you know, science, like even in older games, Fallout 3 New Vegas, they didn't have a backup memory bank that built into it, and like places like Vault-Tec and them didn't try to prepare for that, for their scientists. They were just like, whatever. And most people don't even know why Enclave has done it. Maybe to wipe everything clean so that they can restart and then be the rulers of the world. I don't know. I enjoyed New Vegas because it seemed like you did, but you didn't do anything. Like, you at least progressed what was going to happen in the wasteland from then on. It's the same thing with Fallout 3, at least with that, you know, the water purification for the whole point of the story. Um, at least you did something. It helped people in the wasteland. It gives everybody a little bit easier life. But, like, 76. I literally don't understand what's the point. Like, the main mission is to take down the Scorched, but you constantly have to take down the Scorched. That's it. Literally, that's the main mission. You're following around your overseer, you're helping these factions that don't really exist. That is the game in a nutshell. I could actually sit down and probably for 2 hours tell you exactly everything about Fallout 76. Actually less than that, probably an hour. Maybe even less. With New Vegas, I could sit there for like literally days. Same thing with Fallout 3 and tell you all the stories about what happened in it. All the things that I found. I've replayed. I played Fallout 3 from 2008 to 2010. Or I think that was when New Vegas came out. I don't remember, it's been a long time. And then I played New Vegas over and over again. When I got PlayStation. Or no. I had Xbox 360, and then when I got PC, I got New Vegas, I paid for it again. I added mods, I played with just the straight game over and over and over and over again. Fallout 3, same thing. I played with mods. And mods give replayability. It gives you time to work on your game, but without having fans breathe down your neck as often. Sorry. I don't understand why people... I mean, I understand people being upset, and I was one of those ones that said give 76 a chance, and I was wrong. I'm no problem with admitting I was wrong. They did a terrible job. They did a quick scheme, get money, and I mean, I could say I'm wrong. I was wrong again. Humans are supposed to be like that. They're supposed to be questioning things, do better, evolve, not, you know. I still stand by what I'm saying. I'm not that stubborn. I'm not that hard-headed. When I see the facts, my opinion changes. Now, if they do what I think they should do, which is release a huge update that increases the story, do the same thing again, and then from now on just do that with this. Release these huge stories that are about the size of Fallout 4's main story, or longer, and then it gives people something to do while you're making something. Open up a region that has actual NPCs in it after you work out the problem. What I don't understand is the same program you use for holotapes you can use for NPCs. The response could be the same thing you do with the terminals, the same kind of program. At least that's the way I look at it. Why can't you do that? Why is it I can go into a terminal and choose different things, and then I have a different effect? But with NPCs, you can't do that. Fuck, you could have a fucking character in here called Todd Howard, and him sings, if you beat his mission, which is like a 30-minute mission, he could sing, tell me sweet little lies, and people would fucking love it. It's not like anybody's gonna watch this, or fucking Bethesda. If they do, you know what, Bethesda, if you were, go look on my Facebook. My name is Thomas Wade Chambers. Go on Facebook, look up Fallout East Central Commonwealth. It's this whole thing I have where it takes place in Tennessee, Kentucky, and Ohio. And the main idea of the story is civilization moving forward after the bombs dropped. The game starts around the same time that West Virginia's vaults start opening. Ohio wasn't hit a lot because of a ancestor of Nikola Tesla, who is alive. In this universe, Tesla had a kid, and he had a kid, and he had a kid, and this kid started a thing called Tesla Tech. And there's a small faction in Vault Tech that left Vault Tech right before the bombs dropped, and they took control of all the Ohio, Tennessee, and a few. Wait, no, except for Michigan, because Michigan will appear, but Ohio, Tennessee, and Kentucky's were taken over by this section of Vault Tech that defactored when all the chaos was happening. So they went over to Tesla Tech because they realized he was a really good guy. And these are people that were managers and scientists in Vault Tech that found out what was going on. And they start rebuilding America. It even has a part in this whole story. It lasts from 2021, what is this, '02, when you come out of the vault, to all the way to 2000, like, what is it, 2102 to 2288, I think, was what I had the storyline to, and it technically goes almost all the way to 2300, which is when I think the estimated time that America was supposed to be civilized again. And the whole thing is that it's lush and green, and then around the corners, and then Tennessee and Kentucky, it is like it is in every other Fallout game. There are thousands of stories. You could even make an online implementation, and the way it would work is the players are NPCs. You could pay people. You could have half of them actual players working together, and then have a server of 24 like you do on this, and then another amount of 24 people who work for you that do NPCs, and like you literally they're paid to roleplay with characters. And yes, you would have to hire a lot of people. Guess what? You just help the economy with a bunch of jobs. You would be doing something nobody's ever done before, which is having real players that help make stories. You know, I mean, yeah, there are going to be complications. That's the way life is. You could have someone sexually aggressive to someone, you fire them. And you say that you never meant to hire people like this, and they have to have a background check, obviously, before they even do this. And you can give the person the ability to do certain things. You know, let's say you make a guy named James McPherson, or something as a reference. And in his storyline, you have to help him break into this warehouse, which could be a reference to Warehouse 13, the TV show. And it has artifacts that were put in so that people like Vault Tech and other things wouldn't get to it. And he tricks you into breaking in. And really based off what you do. So you have developers working with him too. And if something new happens, the programmer could be there and be like, this is what I'll do instead. You have all these backup programs that you would initiate. Like the game, this is the evil side of the Enclave. Now there is a good side of the Enclave, and there is a good side of the Institute. There's a bad side of the Institute that start working with the Enclave. There's a huge raider group in Tennessee that go with them. One of the main aspects of this is that time is moving forward. People come up with new music. So, Postmodern Jukebox, which is a group of people on YouTube, they could be used. You could even have them write new versions of songs that we have nowadays, or in the 70s and the 60s and the 80s. I don't know. There's just a huge direction. You know, step back, look at what other people have done, and adapt. I don't know. It's just like you put faith in something, and something you care about. Like, I care about Fallout a lot. I know a lot of the history. You know that the bombs dropped in 2077 in October. I think it was on either the 23rd or 26th. I didn't mean to do that. I know that in Paradise Falls and Vault 3, off the bat, I know that you can find a jumpsuit, which is a reference towards Penny comics, and it was a man in a crate of puppets. And the pretty much what I can understand, he was the only one meant to get in there. And he ended up messing with the puppets, and he eventually went insane. And either something that was in the puppet, or the puppet, him going insane, made him think that the puppet was causing him to kill people. And they killed the original raider group for Paradise Falls, and I think the only one left was the pimp. The guy who owned the whole thing. The slaver. He dressed like a pimp. And he just disappeared. You never hear about him again, you don't know anything else. The ship Zeta. Before the game, you get the DLC for it, the ship is there, and that's where you can get the alien blaster. But it is not the most powerful weapon in the game. The second most powerful in my mind would be the Fire Lancer, which could spawn depending on your luck. And the strongest one in the game is the Merv, which did like I think 800 damage base. And they nerfed the damage that it does in Vault 4. And it's like they're trying to make the game more difficult when they could make the story more difficult. Meaning, make every story unique depending on your difficulty. Changing either the map, they really need to do that with games. Change the entire story. Something else will happen, and you'll have a whole different, like, in Fallout 4, they should have made it so that when you were on easy, they did it how it only had 4 lines of dialogue. It was how they made it. When you played it on each difficulty higher, it gave you more options to choose. It gave you skills, so you could choose, or even just make it so it's optional. So people who are dumb, who is basically who they chose, the easier group, that they tried to go mainstream, and they're like, oh, we'll make it more like Call of Duty when it comes to shooting. We got too much Call of Duty. We don't need any more Call of Duty. I don't know. If you were to ask me what I liked about Fallout 4, I could honestly tell you off the top of my head. If you were asking me what I liked about Fallout New Vegas or Fallout 3, I can tell you right off the bat. I can tell you some of the characters were pretty interesting to talk to. There is a moment where people run up you and they'll have a bomb collar on their neck. And you can choose to save them, which was a good feeling. Or if you're being the dick character, which is really hard to do in those games, because you really didn't want to be that kind of person, then you could set it off early and they go, what the fuck, you're an asshole, and then run away and explode. And then the other thing is the companions. I liked Fox. He was one of my favorite super mutants I've ever met. I hated Strong. Strong was stupid. Like, there was literally, other than the fact that he was literally an idiot, and he was a mutated idiot that is psychotic, I did not like him at all. I mean, I didn't really care for, that's something I don't remember. The companions I didn't like. Like, there's, like, I'm Grandma. Come and give Grandma a hug. The Nightkin that went insane, and, well, she or he, whatever you want to call it, I didn't really get a connection. I mean, I did feel sad for the story, because you kind of realize where super mutants were. They were humans at one point, and because everything that happened, their life is ruined. Sure, they're somewhat immortal, but they can't have kids. They go insane all the time, especially if they're Nightkin. But Fox, he was smart. He was wise. He didn't want to kill people. He was an inspiration for all mutants, and what I would like mutants to become. Because, I mean, I want to go into a game and, like, make a difference. I want to be able to take super mutants and have them in a group and slowly help them so that they can walk around in town and they don't have to worry about someone shooting them. Kind of like Jacob from Jacob's Town. I want to bring raiders in and trap them, but don't kill them. Take the ones that you can to, like, the vault that you take, what's her name in vault for, fuck, what's her name? Not Claire. She's the Irish girl, I don't remember her name. Like I said, I didn't really care for Vault 4. Even though I'm a big thing about Fallout. But you take her there and her drug addiction's gone. Do that with all the raiders and the ones that they can't go back. You just tell them, fine, you want to kill the people who we can't talk out of doing stuff. People like you. I mean, it's the only humane way of doing it. Use them for what they want to do. You know, and if that becomes a problem, then at one point you're going to have to force them to come to realization that life is fucked. The whole thing that they escaped from, which was the fact that the world ended. They took drugs, they killed people, they raped and murdered. But instead of letting them hurt themselves or freak out, you just like, but you can make the world a difference. And start rebuilding. You know, you have the robots from New Vegas. It never tells you what happens when the courier takes over. If it was my courier, and it wasn't just, you know, this random thing at the end of the game that tells you, meaning, you know, oh, no, anarchy happens here, it wouldn't happen. Because if I was truly the courier, you use the robots that you now have to go and start reconstructing things. Have them have certain nuns police things, make laws, make rules. Yes, it's independent. Still can be independent, but be safe. Meaning everyone sits down, they tell us what they want to do, and we discuss it. I guess like a democracy or whatever, but not exactly. Money would not be an aspect at all. Caps would not be. Fucking, there's a point in the game where you find a cap thing, where you can make fake caps. If it was real, then in your character's intelligence and special and stuff like that actually affected your character. At level 10, if he was supposed to be a super genius, I'm pretty sure he could utterly fake bottle caps. He could then take it and start deciding how bottle caps will come into the system, especially himself. Since it's only New Vegas that you have control time, going, hey, we'll give you these bottle caps if they're useful to you, and then you can use them to respell your guys. We'll help you with our robots and everything. And I'm not talking about, at the time, the Brotherhood that was in the bunker. I'm talking about the ones that were all the way over in the East Coast. There's just a lot of things they can fix. And that's one of the things my East Central Commonwealth has. There's at one point you have to join forces with every single character you've played as. At one point you'll go to New Vegas and talk to the courier, and you have to help him fix the problem he's created with the anarchy. And another one you go to Boston, and since they helped destroy the Institute, you have to try and help him figure out what to do next. Then you go to frickin' you go to the, what is it called? You go all the way to the West Coast, you go all the way to the East Coast. You know, the West Coast would be who you're going to go against. Each one would be longer than New Vegas, Fallout 3, and Fallout 4 altogether when it comes to just the main story. But here's the thing. Before you can even finish the main story, all the side stories also matter. Because if you choose not to do them at all, then you're not making a united wasteland. The whole point is for you to make a new government. Now, the government would be mainly just so that if everyone's united, when the West Coast tries to take over, the NCR try to take over the entire East Coast to take back America, and do their, you know, political, we're doing it for money, we're going to take it whether you like it or not. The whole point is for you to fight them, and for the finally the West Coast and East Coast to go at war with each other. That would be the final part of the game. But it is not the final part of the game, meaning there's a part where you go to space and you find out that, you know, this or that. And the other whole point is you don't always start with the quest from the beginning. You can start out in 20 instead of 21,002. You could start out in 2077, 2277, and have been, you know, in Vault 101 when he left, and then you were behind him, and you start the game there, and you have all these different quests until you get to that area. And I'm talking about as long as Fallout 3 quest line with side quests. And then all of a sudden you come to the East Central Commonwealth because you hear what's going on. You don't have to start. You can start from the beginning, the middle, or the end. So that way the game has multiple replayability. You can start out in any of the vaults in the area. You can be a super mutant. You can be a ghoul. I mean, they have all these chances to do this stuff, but they limit themselves because of their engine. They limit themselves because they're afraid to work with other companies. I mean, you know, put a bunch of famous developers in a room, and I'm pretty sure they'd be good. You know, how are we going to make your character customizable? How are we, you know, things being useful? Fucking get Will Wright, who made Sims, in the room. Help fix the problem. Help this, you know. Your and make a game for your fans. Because right now your fans need a sorry note and a love letter saying, we understand, we care about you guys, and this is your gift to you, and our way of saying sorry. Well, I'm out of the water. Someone complained about me not talking enough when I do this, so you get what you asked for. Wait, airport. I don't think I've been here before. I've been just randomly walking in a certain direction. I saw another guy playing and he was talking about people who go into these places that are illegal and they eventually get in trouble for it. And then he mentioned how some people got into Devering, and like I said, that's the stupidest thing ever. And then there was an NPC in there, and that also, I think those people got banned. And anybody who was on YouTube who duplicates or shows any exploits, and I'm like, why does it matter? Other than the fact it makes it so people will be done with the game. I mean, you obviously don't care about replayability. I mean, that's the only, you know how to make replayability. You add missions, and you release them every once in a while, and you make it so there's multiple ways to do those missions. Hell, if you have that problem, just get people the power to do it themselves. Like I said before, hire a few people who've been playing the game. You know, Johnny somebody can always, you know, give you a quest of how to make robots. And depending on what he does will depend on what kind of robots he can make.
Commencing attack on hostile target.
Make your special matter again. Make special. Again. Make Fallout great again. There's a crashed satellite. I've never seen this before. No, I kind of want to see what the rest of this is, because I bet you it's something that already exists in the game that they pawned off, so they could be lazy. Or maybe it's like Mothership Data, just gonna frickin' stay here long enough and a DLC will come out. Where am I at anyway? How did I get all the way down there? Did I teleport? Like literally, when did I come down here? Kinda was like maybe we should invite someone to the team. Okay, where was the place I wanted to go? see Stu invite me so that way I can take a shortcut. What was the other place I needed to go? I was supposed to be right here, and somehow I decided I was going to walk extremely far distance in the opposite direction. Tom. See if this other Tom. How do these people get up to 154? Man in a room. Lando. It's a trap. I don't even know why I invited. Can you hear me, Tom? Okay, who's chasing me? I hate when I do that in games. I hear myself running, and then, you know, I step on, like, water or something. And it sounds like someone's right behind me. Seriously sounds like it's echoing. It sounds like ghoul feet running whenever it's wet. I don't even know what to do. I think I've did most of the missions in the game. So it's like, what is the point? I know I've always been one of those people where when I beat the game, I just go location to location. But when you're playing alone in this game, it's like after you get a taste of being with other people and it being decent. I don't know. It feels like the game should have either been longer or Bethesda should have released an update that added more to it. Or like explain more things at least. Come on. Put some more things in the game. You know, the reason why there's more green in this area was because there's a thing over Vault 76 or in this area that makes it so that the reason why you can't nuke it in the game, where when you're in it and you could choose to nuke stuff, is because there's something there that prevents nukes from hitting it. Like it gets fired down, or, you know, anti-missile thing that should have been in multiple missile areas in, you know, the world. Explain things like that, and don't be like, I don't know, I feel like I'm ranting, but I don't know what else to do.
Remain calm.
Can you hear me, Tom?
Yeah, what's up?
I was looking for other people to play with because all I've been doing is ranting, and I randomly will put videos up on YouTube.
Sounds neat.
Yeah. Basically been ranting for the past, I don't know how long, maybe an hour, about how Bethesda could do the game better and how they're really bastards. And I'm a person that really likes the Fallout series, so... Like, how they'll say, for example, they can't do this because it will mess with lore, or, you know, it won't make sense. But then they'll turn around and do things like, the Brotherhood were not in the area at this time, but then 76, but the Brotherhood were. And whenever I was, you know, blindly just accepting everything, I was like, the way to explain any inconsistency in Fallout is that a storyteller or story narrator is telling you the entire story of what your character did and what was going on, which explains why at the end of every game the narrator would come on Ron Perlman or
Possible
Nate
source of
from
compost
Fallout 4.
detected.
So you're getting inconsistencies because when a story is passed on, that's what happens. Either he was there, or someone passed the story to him, and then passed the story to the next person. And one of the new theories is that after Vault, it was either in Vault 76's intro or trailer, whenever it shows the guy that sounds like Ron Perlman telling you that Vault 76 is being opened, that whoever he says he is a lie, which I don't think he says who he is. He is actually the same news guy. And in every game, they've had the same exact model of an old, really, really old man telling you the narration, but it doesn't show it because it's a projector on a wall. And it shows it more obviously in New Vegas.
I haven't played New Vegas in forever.
New Vegas had to be the best one.
I think it was a good improvement on a lot of the like mechanics.
You know why it was better?
You sure you're telling me?
The number one reason would be because the original team that helped create and make the first and second Fallout were the ones who worked on it. Obsidian is mainly a group of people from Interplay.
Gotcha.
And you want to know something else? Bethesda were such assholes that they gave them an extremely small amount of time to make the game. So all of the stuff you see in it is mainly what they worked on, and then they had to hire more people just to do it, and they barely got any payout. They got no royalties because it didn't hit the mark that Bethesda wanted. So they got very small pay. They put in more hours than what they actually got paid for. And Bethesda doesn't put them in any other future games, barely, or any references towards New Vegas, for the main reason that they don't want to acknowledge the fact that Obsidian did better at all, so they act like they don't exist and what they did didn't exist. So they did whatever they can to butcher their story by changing lore whenever they feel like. And I recently found out that 76 is literally, everything that's in here is mainly what was in the original online idea. They kept telling people that it was like Fallout 4 exactly, but with online, no. This was supposed to be the online part of Fallout 4, which was going to be in West Virginia. But they wanted to wait and see if they could make more money off of it by making it online, and then they lied to the public and told them all that that they were never planning on doing it. But it shows in the actual game's code that it's like that it was made. This game was almost completely made beforehand, and then the new team that they hired that couldn't even do their online multiplayer game they were working on, it never went successful, was mainly the ones who worked on this. Now every single time I see Todd Howard, I keep hearing, "Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies." And if you're wondering why I'm playing the game, I'm just like not sure what to do. I've spent $60 on a game, I might as well play it and hope that they fix it, and if they don't within a certain amount of time, or add new stuff to it that's not just skins, then I may just stop playing altogether, and then I'll read about it or watch someone else play it. And he left. All the way back in Flatwoods.
Overseer's log, town of Flatwoods.
I purposely skipped this town earlier than
The
one level
old
10.
tavern, the church. People
getting
were
here.
using them for shelter, but they're gone. Mutations we
Well, my other
expected.
character have already been here
There's
several
something
times
else.
before.
A disease.
Well, guess what?
I
Everyone
was
died from the
attacked by...
Scorched.
Well, it used to.
And they barely have any backstory.
It's not been long, and things have
That overseer lady
Yeah.
said more people would be coming. It's nice to
I've been
meet
working with
you.
the responders for a couple of years
I
now.
don't think I've ever been
I'm
so
from
depressed
Charleston
when playing a
originally,
game.
so it was easy to join up. What wasn't easy was the work.
Actually, tonight, because you're a Jew. I have no problem with Jewish people. I'm not PewDiePie. That was also a joke,
So
because he has no
many have
problem
come
with
and
Jewish people.
gone. Their stories
Jewish
untold,
people are high in vitamin D.
their names
You like
lost to
cheese?
time. I thought we should preserve this history somehow.
I actually had a Jewish friend, and
I've
he was
decided
pretty
to
cool.
ask people to record their thoughts,
Just
their stories,
mainly a religion in my
anything they
mind,
want to
so
preserve forever. I'll call this series the Survivor Stories. I'll
I
start
don't
with
think
me.
someone of a different race
I was
just
an
because they
anthropology
believe in
PhD
something their
student
whole
at
family
Voltaire
did.
University.
Then
Final
again,
year.
I've never really understood how that worked, so
Printing my thesis when I
and I
heard
don't
the sirens.
really feel like looking it up because
I thought for sure
it
my
only affects
father,
the people
a
that have
Vault-Tec employee, could take
ignorantly
us
not,
all with
you
him.
know, looking at
But
that stuff before,
only 2
which they can get
reservations
over
came
it,
through.
like they can everything
I
else, and
refused
stop
to
being
go.
butthurt like this entire nation is.
My little brother, he went to the vault.
Everyone's always so upset about everything. I mean, I'm no one to talk.
In the end, I pushed them
I'm
inside,
just
and
sitting
that
here
was
getting
it.
butthurt about a video game.
After that,
Hi.
Hi,
Dasa
I
asked
was a
me if I would
bully.
talk about how I got here.
And I gotta make everything about myself.
She asked everybody, so I said okay. My name's Colonel, and I'm 13 years old.
Who names their kid Colonel?
I just wanted to say I'm sorry. I'm sorry for everything.
Just like popcorn.
The bombs,
This is like first name Colonel and his last name
the cows with 2 heads, all of it.
fuck. My joke's already fucked up. God damn it. Redenbacher. This is his first name Colonel and his last name or fuck.
Bad.
Keep thinking
I cheated on
Orville.
my spelling
Orville.
test. I kicked
Like I have to say it.
Wilkins in the shins until he cried. I pushed Rose McCoy down the stairs.
Why did that randomly stop?
Someone please help me! Please let me out! Please! Please!
Oh my god, this is so boring.
Don't leave me here!
I've heard this so many times I didn't realize how much empty air is there. Phenomenal.
you want! Money?
There we go. Is he like... He was definitely like... Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. Maybe the reason why I keep playing this game is because I like to torture myself for believing that it would be good and supporting it so often. So the only true torture would be to force myself to play it. Kind of like how when you get something to eat, or someone like, oh, I'm hungry, and someone gives you a bunch of food you don't want to eat, and then they tell you to sit there and eat it, and it's like punishment for like wanting to be hungry. It's like you're hungry for more Fallout. Here, you're gonna sit here and play this, and you're gonna like it. Hey, look, my damn handsome. Let's get some dinner tonight. Me too. These redneck jokes about West Virginia are so funny. I don't know how the situation with how 76 came into being feels like someone went into a room. Like I read this recently that someone who's making the sound Not the sound of silence. That one where the chick's like spinning around, like you know the trailer for Fallout 76. And at one point, the lady's spinning around. When it's like with the Beach Boys playing. Now, the movie that was from, the town that they wanted to put the Nazi flags up on, they said they wouldn't do it, and then the director was like, you know what? If you don't, we'll just use the footage of you welcoming Hitler, happily welcoming Hitler to your town. And they were like, you know what? You can just put the Nazi flags up on the thing. We're fine with that. That's way better. And it feels like with 76, somewhere around there, it was a singular instance where they were like, so we want to make this game and do this with this, and then like Bethesda told them that, and then Todd Howard and Pete Hines was like, well, how about this? We don't want you to do that because we'll make the company look bad. And the company's like, we're going to make a lot of money off this, so if you don't, we'll do this and this, and put your name on it, and you get fired. And they're like, well, I guess I gotta do it, because it seems like in certain parts, they're just telling Todd Howard what to say, and if he wants to keep his job, he'll do it. And then on top of that, he looked like he came out with 76 when they did the E3 event, and he just looked like the entire time was just pissed. And I don't want to say he wasn't part of it, because obviously he was. I'm pretty sure somewhere in the credits, wherever the fuck they are, his name's there and shows Pete Hines. So they're just as guilty as the people who own the company. I can't remember people used to say, Todd Howard. That makes even more sense now than it did before. If you're not understanding the joke, it's fucking, I'm not gonna be more involved with humans, I'm gonna leave, and then, or at least that's what it seems like the story is so far. And then, you know, it doesn't make things better. I completely lost where I was going with that. At this point, I'm tired. You can get me some root beer, keep talking, and I won't fall asleep. Eventually someone will tell me in the comments, shut the fuck up and go to Bed Thomas. Oh, I'm sorry. I assumed someone was gonna jump in and watch this at fucking 4 or 5 in the morning. What time is it again? Is it 4 in the morning? I thought someone would want to watch me. There's another guy on here for 1,000, and for some reason I thought I could even get close to that. Actually, I'm happy nobody is, because then nobody can tell me to shut up. And I like that. Everyone else should shut up. I'm tired of people telling me that. Oh, you can have your own opinion. Your opinion's stupid. I bet I hold you down and fill your ears with my words.
Reverend Delbert Winter here, born and raised in this very town. Led my own church to the responders for their outpost here, and you're welcome. The responders are on a true mission, you see, helping folks through thick and thin, till the heavens open up again and take us all up anyways. When this all happened, I figured like most it was time. This was the end, but it wasn't, was it? We're still here. At first, I thought it was a mistake, that we was missed, forgotten. Maybe we did some wrong. Didn't give enough to charity, maybe. Didn't praise his name, even in the worst of times.
Oh my god.
Maybe thought some things that ought not to have been thought. So I asked him.
I don't really know what to say anymore. The funny thing is, it's a joke and it's not a joke. in a way we're in an apocalypse when it comes to politics. You know, there's just like the problems with fucking they got greedy, just like the government, just like the Enclave. And they're sacrificing their own people to be their fans, just to make money. Or do whatever the fuck they want, I don't know. The way I like to look at it is that maybe at one point Vault-Tec wasn't so bad, or maybe, fuck you, fuck you, cool. You drink water, thank you. Look how I'm like a foot away, and I'm aiming without, you know, aiming. And I still fucking can't shoot him. But it's nice to see that chance is still a fucking thing in the game. Yeah, fuck you game, but I love you game. I hate you, I love you. I hate it, you're pooping on my chest. Oh my god. Really? You have nothing to do in your time. How the fuck did he die? Oh. Hello, Roger. Someone took all my pecan sandies. Oh no. Who ate all my pecan sandies? Sounds more like if Cleveland Brown was trying to do Roger.
Puny human. Roger, you are puny human. Super mutants rulers now.
Can't do the voice right now. It's way too loud. I think I have get Roger. Roger, would you like a clown outfit? Roger, I'm going to give you stuff. Alright, Roger, I'm going to drop stuff for you, okay? Here you go. Roger! 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 God damn it, Roger! God damn it. Oh, I guess I'm grabbing this shit. I don't know if he just completely has this thing off, so he can't hear me, but he can see me, and he just ignores people, and thinks that that's a possibility in this game, but...
I'm glad that's done.
Hello, Bobby. God damn it, Bobby. What the hell are you doing here, Bobby? Boo! Just randomly put that in there. Defaulted. probably skipped all of this stuff last time I was in here. Seeing as I was ranting again. Parent chart, or patience chart, don't give a fuck. It does not progress the story at all. It does nothing for the story other than tell you that the person was fucked. They're dying because they're becoming scorched. Gives you no emotional value to those people. They're teaching you how to be an actual doctor. Don't give a fuck, the person's dead. Supplies. I don't see any supplies. Where are they at? See a workbench. I already have one of these. Jesus Christ, I've seen five of these in random locations. Like, no joke. Click, doesn't work. Already have it. Those are things I already had. I'm just gonna walk in this direction, and I'm either gonna get killed, or nothing will happen, and I'll meet to the all the way on the north side of the map. We're literally within a few minutes. Bye. What did I do to you guys? Why is there a random eyeball? This is probably the best thing I like about 76 is just the fucking rivers. And they don't look nice, not like high-res textures or anything like that. They probably literally took them all from like Skyrim or something. Like this could totally probably be scaled down in the Skyrim, and then they threw a bunch of West Virginia shit in it, and then retextured the dragons to look like scorch beasts.
Hold it right there. Attention. This is now a combat zone. You may suffer up to 10, including death, if you remain
Who
in
the fuck
area.
is shooting me?
This notice required by law.
That was probably the best ever. You got nothing useful. Maybe for a low level, but that's about it. There's no point in going over their missions that are shitty missions except for helping other people. Are you fucking serious? Where the fuck did you
The
guys come from?
responders are here to keep you
Like,
safe,
were they here a second ago
citizen.
when I was over here? Oh look, I can drive a car. Oh wait, no, it's Fallout. I can't. I'm just gonna complain about everything. Let's see how many people fucking... Oh, sorry. Nobody fucking watches my shit. What am I talking about? I keep thinking someone will watch it. Oh look, a random robot. What's the backstory with this? Someone fucking killed it. Oh god, they killed all the robots. Off with your grenades. Come on. I got frag grenades myself, actually. I just told him to fuck off the grenades and I fucking threw one at him. I think people could choose grenades. Yeah, I'm not picking up those random shit anymore. I think we're gonna make a board that does 100,000 damage.
Puny human, I kill you.
Puny mutant, I'm gonna fuck you. Just kidding, that'd be nasty. I don't think he has a penis. Let me look. Nope, he doesn't. Because all super mutants lose their gender stuff. They can't have babies, they're sterile. Which I think, in some cases, they actually lose their penis. And their vaginas just completely stop working. That's why all super mutants look like men. So some super mutants used to be women. Original. Ma'am. Not man. Ma'am. Oh look, beautiful bridge. That you can't build on because Bethesda's a dick. People will snipe people down. Random responder robots will make love to humans.
Citizen,
It's just
do
chaos.
not be
Oh no.
alarmed. The responders are here
Oh
to
no.
help.
Oh yeah. 88B is better than 88C. Country roads take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads. Wouldn't it be nice if we were older and we wouldn't have to say You know what they need to do? They lied in the trailer. They were like, you could go with your arms spread out. And they should have totally made that an emote. Would have made it a 5 out of 5 on X-Play with Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb. Would have came on right after Steve and Bob Splinter Cell. Anybody remember that? Probably not. You remember like that Japanese thing where like they did 4 lip readings? And it was fucking hilarious. Good times, good times. Oh look, I could just sit here and see if ammo comes. I don't know why I'm picking up ammo I don't need. Like literally, I'm gonna make people from like Fallout 3 and drop this, drop this, drop this, drop this, drop this. Flame race useless. Shotgun. God damn it. You know what weapon I want? I want the exact damage the terrible shotgun did in Fallout 3 when you had the highest amount of perks and special and everything. Is there someone down here? Seemed like there was someone here getting shot at. I was like, I'm gonna be a nice guy. Oh, something else I think I noticed that you can't do in this game. Okay, I can't do that. Can't do that.
Oh, what is this?
Hello.
Yep. Hey, what's up, man? Oh, what up, man?
I'm just doing a stream on YouTube and pretty much just bitching about the game. And my way of torturing myself for allowing this game to be bought was forcing myself to play it. And then,
yeah, that's it. I did the same thing.
because I've already pretty much did all the quests with my other guy, and I was going to make a perfect character, and then I was like, I just realized, what is the fucking point? Bethesda has not confirmed that they're going to release anything else. So, for all we know, they could abandon ship.
Yeah, I'm still hoping they will, man.
Oh no.
I don't want to completely say I wasted. I bought the Tricini edition, so.
Yeah, that's even worse.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, everyone's like, Bethesda said they were going to keep on doing this forever, this game, and then like keep releasing stuff, and like they also said that it was going to be a good game.
Yeah, that.
Like,
I don't know, man.
All I know is that every single time I hear them, either Bethesda say it or someone else say that they plan on working on this for a long time, I keep hearing Todd Howard singing, "Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies."
Yeah, see, they trying to make it like they're doing Fortnite. See, but they haven't. I don't know. I guess they're the engine or the mechanics or whoever they're working with. I don't know. They just don't have the. I guess the vision, man. Like they could have. I guess they got the vision, but it's just not
They're
the
doing what they've
will to
always done.
do
They
it.
don't explain anything to us. It's they're about to put it out in a day or two, and then they're gonna tell us. That's the problem.
Yeah.
If people knew what they were wanting to do, and they put it out on the table, then I don't think it would be as bad, or at least tell people, a quarter of what you're gonna do. There's ammo here if you want any. I don't use that ammo, so I dropped it.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
they botched this one, man. I mean, I was excited at the beginning, but now I'm just like, it's kind of going through the motions, man. Trying not to totally have wasted my money.
It wouldn't be so bad if they at least filled the game with an extreme amount of backstory, or even in notes or holotapes, but it feels like there's maybe a handful of holotapes and notes compared to in the other games. Like, there literally is only 25% the amount that they've had in every other game.
Yeah, they just, I think after E3, they just rushed it out the door, man.
They did the same thing with Fallout 4. It's like learn
Yeah,
from New Vegas.
at least Fallout 4 kind of sort of had a storyline to it.
To be honest with you,
But
the
this-
best game they've had so far is New Vegas, and they didn't even make it. It was Obsidian that made it.
Yeah.
The only thing they gave to Obsidian was they handed over the engine. Literally. They were like, here, this is the version of the engine we have. They didn't give them the updates that they put in there. They didn't add the iron sights. Obsidian did that, and they did it in 9 months. It usually takes several years, like 2 or 3 years, maybe 4, to make a game. They gave them 9 months to make the game, and they told them they had to get this rating or you're not getting any royalties. You'll get paid for it, but you won't get royalties. They got $270,000 to pay all their people after everything. Bethesda fucked them so hard that you think they'd at least give them a courtesy of a reach around, but they made them give them a reach around instead. So Bethesda got the money, the royalties, and the reach around.
Right.
And instead of giving them lube, they gave them spit, which is basically their old engine with no help. I don't know. It's like after so long, I was like, oh cool, Bethesda's doing a good job. Oh, I like Fallout. Now that I've realized that and it doesn't matter if people say Todd Howard is just doing his job. It's not a good excuse. It's the same thing with political. Looking at something politically.
Right. I actually thought that this was going to be a good game, man. And I'm like, the more that I play it, I find myself playing it every 3 or 4 days or every 2 or 3 days.
My thing is I'm looking right now for a new job, and in between doing that, it's like on my off time, I'm playing this because I have nothing else to fucking do.
Yeah.
I have like Netflix and YouTube, and I've already watched everything, and I'm bored of it.
Yeah, I was, I still have Red Dead 2 sitting here, so, I haven't really gone through the story on that, so I might eventually end up going back to that for a while.
Fallout 3, have you finished all the DLCs for New Vegas and 3?
I did for 3, but I did for New Vegas.
New Vegas has got the divide in it, and there's actually a glitch for the laser detonator for that you get later in the game, and there's a way to glitch the gun so that you can use any ammo for it. So like if you use mini nukes, it shoots endless streams of mini nukes, except it isn't using because it has a microfusion kind of like program on the gun. It tricks it into believing there's infinite mini nukes on it.
Oh, nice. I like to check that out.
Fallout 3's my favorite overall mission for Fallout 3 DLC wise was Mothership Zeta, and New Vegas was the Big Empty, and I don't remember. Surprisingly, the only thing I liked about Fallout 4 was the Vault Tech Workshop and Nuka World.
Yeah, I did know it. I got the Vault Tech Workshop, but I never, for some reason, never got Nuka World. I might end up getting it just to check it out since it's on since they have it on sale.
To be honest with you, and it sounds really stupid, but over everything that they fucked up with this game, if they don't later release or have it already in the game and people just haven't found it, the Vault Tech Workshop for like the best version of building a building and stuff, and if they don't raise the budget you get, I'm not gonna play the game anymore.
Yeah, that budget limit is dumb. Like the budget limit and the like the weight and your storage. You know,
Yeah.
like your storage space, your crafting. Because this, I mean, I think they thought just because they reduced the weight on the junk you carry, got to make a difference. But no, I mean that's just. That shit is just stupid, man. Because you can break down the stuff, yeah, but you can break down all the stuff you want, but if you can't store it, there's no sense of going out farming for materials if you can't store the materials.
They're basically trying to make a game like Fortnite with the speed of Fallout. And if you've ever played Fallout, Fallout is not speed. There's no speed in Fallout. The speed you get is your movement and how you fight. That's it.
Right.
And it's like they're like, okay, so people aren't going to be carrying very much, or people are going to complain about it, and then you're going to add like an additional 200 carry weight, and that's bullshit. Just make it unlimited like you have in other games, or you know. And here's the other thing. Get this: the game is supposed to have the ability for if you own a stash and someone who is not in your team is supposed to be able to go and steal stuff from your stash. Like Rust.
Right.
They're trying to make a Rust / Fortnite / I don't even fucking know anymore. And even with like, okay, Rust has no backstory really. You make your own story. You can't do that in 76. They're trying to make it seem like you can. I can't give you a mission to go do something.
Right.
They should have that right off the bat. It's not that hard to think up. Someone in Bethesda had to have at one point been like, hey, we're going to hire some developers, or we're going to have some of our developers who are going to be permanently working with 76, small group of people. They'll be working with a bunch of voice actors who are going to be another 24 characters in the game, so basically increasing the limit to 48. So 24 of them in each server is going to be real humans, and then 24 of them is going to be real humans that are acting like they're NPCs. So if you go up to them and go, fuck you, then they can go fuck you back. You can be like, hey, who are you? And then they tell you who they are, who their character is, and they can be like, hey, I have something I need you to do. There's a...
Oh, yeah, that'd be decent.
Yeah, and they could be like, I own a radio station. Is there any music you want? And then you could be like, I heard of this new group that in the Wasteland where it's more civilized called the Postmodern Jukebox. And that's an actual band on YouTube. They use the band for new music.
Damn.
See, like, I thought of that shit, and if I can think of it, I'm not a fucking developer, I'm not none of that. It shouldn't be that hard for someone else to think of.
Yeah, especially they're getting paid to do this shit.
Yeah, and it's a lot real NPCs, meaning real humans giving stories out, giving this and that. You know, you can go on adventures with them, and you know, if someone else is doing something, they can go with them. And at one
Yeah,
point,
because
go ahead.
That's my bad. Because even the weekly events are like we can sell, because they really don't have like at least like if you play on Fortnite, if you play on Save the World, like they have weekly events where you do certain things, you get you get certain rewards. Some of them you even get legendary rewards. This one here, man, it's like if you fight the Scorch Beast and you beat her, you got like a 75% chance that the Scorch Queen is glitched out to where that you're firing on her for like maybe 20 minutes straight and she's taking no damage. And then you
Well,
fail the
that's
mission.
not even the thing. Get this. Okay, think of this. What is the point of a game? It is to get to point A to point B, or to figure out what happens in the story, or get to the game and beat it. There is no end to this game. It doesn't matter what people tell you. You nuke the Scorch Beast, it does absolutely shit. You feel like you've
Right.
not progressed anywhere, like you've not done anything. You've gotten loot. That's it.
Sure, that's true.
And it's even worse. It's like you could at least do that, and then figure out something about the Scorch Beast, and then later on they could release something that progresses the story even further. It could take you to a new area. I mean, I don't know. Some places in the original lore for the game say that they were inhabitable for hundreds of years, not 25 years, 100. So nobody could go out and do anything. So technically, we're stuck in West Virginia. If they say we can go out in West Virginia, this has to be an alternate universe, or Bethesda just doesn't give a shit anymore.
Right.
Because I know you can ask me anything. If there's anything you don't understand about the lore of certain parts in the game, I can tell you. Like,
Because I was thinking the same thing, like, because initially I was like, well, damn, this is like the same music that was on Fallout 4. But then, I think about it, like you said, or supposedly since this is like a continuation of Fallout 4.
it's like, how did the Brotherhood get here? Like, the only thing I understand is it says that some of the people that are here from the Brotherhood, but they didn't come to the East Coast until Fallout 3. That's in the first and second game and the third game. The first time they ever came here was then.
Right, and then too, like, how did they get from point A to point B?
and then the way they tried to describe it is that also some of the people that are new, there's new people basically in the Brotherhood that were over here that they heard from satellite. I'm like, then what the fuck is it? Which one is it? Did they hear from a satellite, or did they? Because if you go read the terminals and the logs and Fort Defiance, it tells you that some of the people knew him, had been in the West Coast, but it explains in no way how they got here. Like, it's like you're given bits and parts of a story. It doesn't give you like a whole note quest or holotape quest that everyone used to hate to tell you everything about what happened. It gives you bits and parts, and it's like they don't even matter.
Yeah, I think somebody might have jacked the budget, man. Like, whatever it was they were supposed to be paid out, they gave whoever the money early. It didn't pay the people, didn't pay the workers out, and then the workers just said, fuck it.
Yeah, because it's like, goddamn.
Because that's the only thing I could see. Because you got all these people, or, if you get an upfront or if you get an advance on doing the game.
I'm just happy that you. I don't know if you actually did. I don't know. I don't know you ever. Well, I know we just started playing together. But I'm gonna tell you right now, if you didn't get the fucking trash bag that they sent you with a helmet, I'm so happy you didn't.
Oh no, I had a friend that did.
Oh, how pissed off was
yeah, but he got that. That's when I just I say, no, I'm just do the Trust Centennial Edition.
You want to know something even worse?
Yeah.
The only people that gave the actual non-nylon bag to, they gave the canvas was only famous YouTubers, and barely any of them.
Yeah, them and the people that was the people that marketed the game.
Yeah.
People that was in marketing.
You know that Oxhorn, who's like a pretty popular Fallout YouTuber. He didn't even get one. He got an island one, and he got to go to the actual fucking Greenbrier for the little meeting that they had with media and YouTubers.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, they messed this up so bad because they could have made so much. Somebody was telling me that they actually got a Nuka-Cola out that's like alcohol or something like that.
Yeah, they fucked over that too because it's just a piece of
Yeah.
plastic over glass.
Yep. And I said, man, they tagged this so bad, man.
It's like they just fucked someone and then they didn't have the courtesy to be like, eventually be like, I have morals. They were like, let's keep fucking them and see how far we can go before everyone fucking kills us.
Right. Because they could have made money just off of just the gear, man. Like me personally, because my son has this game, and I would just buy the bobbleheads, just to collect the bobbleheads, just to have actual bobblehead dolls, man.
Don't even get me started on that. For some fucking reason, they decided to make bobbleheads and magazines non-permanent. And this game, let alone them, fuck you over so much. Like, you'd be fighting someone, you're level 75, you could fight something that's a level 10 and take 5 shots to kill it.
And that's just because they stacking the bobbleheads.
Yeah, well, no, it's not even just that. Like, you should be able to get bobbleheads in this game and then be permanent. Since it's so hard to have your character strong. Like, I still have extreme trouble with a level 5.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I haven't quite figured out, like, the perk cards. I'm still kind of playing around with them. Because, that perk card system, they still haven't really fully explained the perk card system. So, but, I mean...
Get this. In the manual for the game, I read it. It does not call them perk cards, it calls them trading perk cards. But you cannot use them as trading cards. You cannot go up to someone and be like, I'm not using this perk, here you go.
Right. That's stupid.
They could have even made a mini game to do that.
Because I've got at least like 5 or 6 duplicate cards that I can't use.
And originally they said any game skin you could find in the Atomic Shop, you would later be able to find in the game doing missions and shit. You can't. There's only a handful of them that you can do that with.
It's like 6, if that meaning.
Like, you can't find the clean version of the post office man's clothes. You can't the clean version of the clown outfit. You can't get an orange version of this unless you buy it or you spend the points on it.
Damn.
And then they had the audacity to make everything okay, that they fucked this all up, to be like, $5 worth of points on the Atomic Shop.
Right.
Yeah,
I still haven't been able to find like I see everybody running around with like these single shot shotguns and single shot HMAs. I haven't found that one. Like, I've literally done like a lot of high level missions and haven't had nothing to drop at all.
Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and invite you to the team.
Alright.
I gotta get me something to drink real quick. I can go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Where do you want to go next?
Let me see.
Have you got
this up to you?
Space suit yet?
I haven't got the space suit yet, no.
You know something fucked up about the space suit?
What's that?
The only thing it does is prevent damage and disease from airborne hazards for the helmet, and it gives -2 perception. -2. And the helmet has a condition, but it gives you no benefits whatsoever, other than the fact that it gives you that. And then the space suit does absolutely nothing, and I don't even know if you can modify it like you can the Vault-Tec armor, or Vault-Tec jumpsuit.
Oh, wow. See, I didn't know that you could modify the Vault-Tec jumpsuit.
Yeah, there's like a few of them, one of them being like, it doesn't really do much, it just gives you a little bit more armor resistance, or damage resistance. I'm trying to make it a lightweight character, because fucking weight in this game.
said, I know I got this what's this the treated marine wetsuit.
You
It's
want to
just
know
like
one
the
of the
only.
most useful things in this game is?
What's up?
Bubblegum. It is literally the most fucking useful thing, and it's not even the perk version. The perk version is shit.
What?
It only gives you 5%. Regular bubblegum in this game gives you 50% less need to put towards your food and drink for, I think, what? Hold on. 9 minutes, 10 minutes, which is a lot in this game.
Yeah, they messed this up so bad, man. I mean,
So
I've got, let me see. I got so much junk on me that I don't use.
So do I. I had to start bulking stuff to bring down the weight. Do you
Starlight berries.
I'm gonna teleport to my camp. If you want to go with me.
Alright, yeah. Cool. Check it out.
While I'm going to my camp, I'll go ahead and get my drink and go pee. Alright, I'm about to head to the bathroom, but I'm going to end my recording real quick.
Okay.
Hey everybody, I don't give a fuck. I'm ending the recording. Bethesda blows chode right now.
All I'll use